is Chad Pence, Staff Sergeant, Team Chief of MMT.
I am Tech Sergeant Jessica Lambert. I work in the 90th Missile Wing Base Legal Office.
I'm Technical Sergeant Timothy Face. I'm a Facility Manager for the 321st Missile Squadron.
I am Technical Sergeant Blake Welch. I work at the 90th Civil Engineering Squadron. Currently, I am sitting in the NCO position for Missile Facility Maintenance.
I'm Technical Sergeant Benjamin Lacoste. I work up at Camp Guernsey, Wyoming for the 90th GCTS, so the Ground Combat Training Squadron. I am currently the NCOIC of Operations.
My name is Staff Sergeant Donovan Shadle. I'm a Special Missions Aviator at the 37th Helicopter Squadron.
My name is Senior Airman Gabriella Buck, and I'm a dental assistant.
To be an NCO, to me, it means to be a leader of not just yourself, but also your peers and your subordinates. That's easily got to be the best description of it because it's not a one-size-fits-all.
To me, being an NCO or supervisor means to be ready, to always be ready, because you set the pace and the standard for your team. Not every day is going to be a good day, but you need to set that pace, which means that you need to put on that game face for your airmen. Second, standard. You need to uphold all the standards, because without standards, we lack discipline. And when we lack discipline, at that point, there's a possibility that we falter or may fail when we cannot.
Being an NCO, to me, means being a leader and a mentor, allowing the airmen to grow personally and professionally, and also developing that environment for them to learn and grow success.
For me, an NCO means to be someone to set an example. I want my peers and my troops to follow in my lead. I want them to know that not everyone is perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, but you can learn from those mistakes. It's okay to learn from them and then be a better version of yourself.
Being a supervisor to me is just being someone that people can count on, and that's inside of work, outside of work, being dependable. I want people to know that I'm always there to help, to talk, if they need guidance, anything like that.
Being an NCO, we are like the critical link between senior leadership and the airmen. We provide that critical link. We understand the bigger picture of the mission, and then we have the technical details to execute.
Always setting the example for my guys, making sure that I'm ready, that they're ready, and just trying to lead by example.
The most important part of being a successful NCO to me is being available and trustworthy. Being there for your airmen, especially when they need it the most, is very important. And then trustworthiness, because it's important when your airmen can count on you, when you actually follow through what your airmen expect of you.
So the most important part of being a successful NCO to me would be supporting my troops. So I've been in 9 years now, and I've had a fair share of good and bad NCOs and supervisors. So I think that's my driving force of being a successful NCO, is being there for my troops. I want to be the person that I didn't have on my way up.
Being a successful supervisor, NCO, to me, is just making sure you're there for your guys, knowing that if you have their back, they'll have your back.
I think the most important thing about being an NCO is raising the next generation of airmen, being in their corner and helping them achieve their goals. I think one way you achieve that is by maintaining a network of NCOs, because they'll be able to help you problem solve things that you have going on with your airmen.
The most important part is to, I would say, internalize all of the good things that you've learned along the way and all the bad things that you've seen other NCOs do along the way. Try and execute on the good things, emulate those good qualities and traits, but then make sure you remember the things that you didn't like about certain NCOs or certain leaders, and then try and squash that habit and that trait.
The most important part of being an NCO to me is knowing your airmen, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses, and letting them lead in both. If you only let them lead in their strengths, they may not know failure or learn from mistakes. That's why it's imperative to let them lead in both. You also need to know who they are as a person. Why did they join? What inspires them? Once you find out who they are, you can lead them more effectively and make them into a vital asset for the United States Air Force.
The most important part about being a supervisor, a successful supervisor, is really learning your people, knowing what they're good at, knowing what they struggle at, knowing what their goals are, so that you can be at that finish line when they complete those goals. They're ready to cheer them on and know that you made an impact for that along the way.